Wolverine versus the Predator. It's a fight so great that they made a whole comic series about it. But when it really comes down to it, is the fight even that close? And really, who's ultimately going to be coming out on top? Well, let's get into it. James Logan Howlett is Wolverine, a mutant but one of the most important members of the X-Men. Born in the 1800s with a remarkable healing factor, Logan has lived a lot of life, being a soldier, a samurai, an outlaw, and a living weapon formed by Task Force X. But now, Wolverine is at his best as a hero, working with both the X-Men and the Avengers to protect humanity and mutant kind from all sorts of threats. Being a mutant, well, one of Wolverine's mutant powers is superhuman abilities like super strength and speed. He's comparable in a lot of ways to Captain America himself, the original super soldier. And Logan's been able to actually overpower and throw around Spider-Man, Sabretooth. He's even literally thrown around Colossus before. He's able to easily tear through metal, snap steel chains. He's routinely able to pick up hundreds of pounds or even a few tons with relative ease, and has absolutely no problem with throwing around superhumans with his punches, even up to and including the likes of Vision and Namor. Yeah, Wolverine is surprisingly strong. He's also surprisingly fast. Like, Wolverine's got no problem with moving way faster than his opponents can even keep up with. And that even includes other superhumans, like Spider-Man, who's maybe the fastest and most agile street-level character in Marvel, while he's routinely surprised and caught off guard by Wolverine's speed and reflexes. He's able to routinely dodge or block bullets or laser blasts headed his way, even after the bullet's been fired or at point-blank range. But of course, to be fair, Wolverine doesn't always use this type of speed in fights. He can when he needs to, but he very rarely needs to dodge attacks because he knows he can always just simply take the attack and heal from it. In fact, sometimes he likes to take a few attacks at the start of a fight to get the blood flowing and get amped up, or he'll sometimes simply press the attack and go all offense and not have to worry about defense at all. And that leads into Wolverine's greatest power, his healing factor and durability. His skeleton is covered entirely in adamantium, which means that he literally cannot be cut or torn apart. And trust me, plenty of people have tried. It also greatly increases his durability too. Like, Wolverine's been kicked clean around the world, been just fine. He's taken all sorts of punches and attacks from some of the strongest beings on Earth, ranging from Hulk to Thor to plenty more, and he's been just fine. He can take bullets absolutely no problem. It really doesn't even faze him. He's able to keep on fighting while being all stabbed up or turned into a pincushion. Doesn't really do much. He's kept on fighting after having his heart destroyed on multiple occasions. He can heal and come back from literal disintegration. The guy's even survived nuclear bombs several times over. Wolverine is dang near impossible to put down. He might be injured, but Logan is always going to heal from it, and he's always going to come back, no matter what. And it's not just that Wolverine is this raging brute who solely relies on his healing factor, although he definitely does act like this from time to time. But he's actually one of the most skilled fighters and best warriors in the whole Marvel universe. His adamantium claws are able to shred through anything in their path. They can pierce through Hulk, Thor, Thanos, Gladiator, and as for less durable opponents, well, Wolverine can slice and dice them into little pieces in an instant. No problem. He's said to be an extremely deadly fighter, renowned across the universe for his skill. And he's skilled enough to casually defeat master martial artists and hold his own or even beat the likes of Captain America, Black Panther, Iron Fist, and Shang-Chi. So literally, some of the best fighters in Marvel, and he only gets more dangerous and more deadly in his Berserker Rage, where he goes hyper-violent, becomes even more powerful and even more deadly, instantly overwhelming most any opponent in his path, and it's like compressing days of non-stop fighting into just a few minutes or seconds. In short, Wolverine is the best at what he does, and what he does isn't pretty. But then there's the Predator, the universe's greatest hunter. And I guess the first thing we need to talk about is just exactly what kind of predator we're talking about here. I'm not necessarily talking about pred aliens or ultimate predators or anything like that, even though those variants are out there. No, I'm just talking about skill level and expertise here. Predator culture centers all around the ritualistic hunting of other species. This is the foundation of their entire society. In fact, most of their entire life is devoted to the hunt. They'll even travel across huge galaxies or to face off against a worthy challenge. They go through an initiation process where they must kill Xenomorph in one-on-one combat. And after they're successfully able to do that, well, they can mark themselves as blooded and are now able to go out on solo hunts. However, being blooded is actually a really broad term. That means the predator's skill can vary here. Like the city hunter is a newly blooded predator off on his very first off-world hunt on Earth. It did not go well. The jungle hunter is another blooded predator, but he's been hunting for years. He's killed countless soldiers, took down elite guerrilla warfare units, and was only killed by Dutch after he had basically butchered all of Dutch's team. So I mean, yeah, skills can vary, which I guess makes the question, what can the average predator do? What can they handle? Well, there's Smiley, who slaughtered a good number of xenomorphs with complete ease and killed a queen with wrist blades. There's Ahab, an elder predator, who once went straight fisticuffs with an engineer, held his own for a little while, despite not being in his prime, and despite the fact that engineers can kill mountains of xenomorphs with their bare hands. There was a novel about a predator who went on an impressive killing spree, killing hundreds of armored men, and even tossed around a huge alligator. Lightstepper was still fairly young, yet managed to kill many xenomorphs and armed humans, all while missing one hand. He even killed a young pred alien. Deshanda was a renowned clan leader who, despite having broken ribs on top of all sorts of other injuries, killed xenomorphs rather easily, held his own for a little bit against a queen in close quarters. He's also successfully killed a queen before. He even killed a xenomorph with his bare hands, straight up tearing off her head. In the Hell and Hot Water comic, Predator killed giant squids, giant hagfish-looking creatures, and killed numerous armed divers. In the Hell Came a Walking comic, a Predator took a Civil War cannon to the face, was completely unfazed by the blast, despite it pretty much instantly vaporizing the man he was holding. In the Big Game comic, well, the Predator killed the biggest mountain lion this world has ever seen. It killed countless military soldiers, dodged a bazooka from close range. It took 3 chopper missiles in the face, was barely fazed by it. The dude was an absolute nut. In Predator Hunters 2, well, it had a Predator kill plenty of Special Forces soldiers. It had a huge trophy room in a cave, took an airstrike. So yeah, just another absolute unit. So, what does all this tell us? Well, just that while Predators can vary, across the board, they are insanely powerful. Sure, sometimes they can lose to police detectives or a samurai guy, or even get beat up by a big old mother bear. But more often than not, well, they're the ones killing the big old bear. They're the ones plowing through elite soldiers, killing the deadliest prey, taking everyone else down. So who wins here? Well, let's break it down. Now these two are kinda the best at what they do, hunting and fighting and killing. So regardless of who wins the fight and how close you really think it is, you know it's going to be extremely bloody and a hard fought fight. We actually already saw that in Wolverine versus Predator. The same Predator was hunting Logan throughout his life, and each time the Predator was really pushing Logan in the fight, leaving him bloody and blown up after pretty much every time. Both Wolverine and the Predator are superhumanly strong, and they're really roughly on par with each other in this regard. A grown Predator can manhandle xenomorphs, tear people apart with their bare hands, even easily shred through metal or throw around some super heavy objects. But really, you can say all the same about Wolverine too. He can easily tear through metal, he can throw around several tons, and Logan actually packs quite a punch. He's routinely floored some superhuman opponents throughout the years. No question about it, Wolverine can do the exact same thing to the Predator here in this fight. Their strength is roughly the same. They're also both really, really fast. Predators have routinely been able to dodge bullets and automatic machine gun fire, act like it's really nothing. You can definitely say the same for Wolverine too. Logan has routinely been able to dodge bullets throughout the years, even block bullets and cut them in half. It's just more often than not, Logan knows he can take the shot, and so he just chooses to take it. Sometimes it's so he can get in a more prime position to launch a counterattack, but other times, it's just so that Wolverine can start getting ramped up in the fight. He said it himself before, he needs to take a few hits in order to get the blood pumping and really get his head in the game. So really, both Wolverine and Predator are pretty much equally just as fast. But more often than not, neither one of them is really relying on that speed to lead them to the victory. No, this fight truly just comes down to the Predator's skill and weapons versus Wolverine's skill, his claws, and his healing factor. Now, the Predator is a skilled fighter and hunter. They're some of the most dangerous warriors in the galaxy, and are more than enough to match up against Wolverine in the skill department. Now, Wolverine is definitely the more technically skilled one. He's got extensive knowledge of all different sorts of fighting styles. He's trained himself till he's able to casually beat master martial artists. He's got literal decades or centuries of fighting experience and is more than a match for Captain America, Daredevil, Black Panther, Iron Fist, all the best fighters in Marvel. In fact, you can make a very solid argument that Wolverine is one of the top 10 best fighters in Marvel when he wants to be. Just the key phrase there is when he wants to be. Because there are plenty of times where he'll get sloppy, loosen up and drop his guard because he knows he can take the punch. And several good fighters have pointed out to him that he really does overly rely on his healing factor and doesn't always use his fighting skill to the best of his ability. The Predator also definitely has some weapons that can damage Wolverine. We've already seen that before. His plasma caster is more than powerful enough to blow off bits of Wolverine with each hit. He's got electricity that leaves Wolverine stunned and speechless. And of course, all the Predator's blades can do some serious damage as well. Then he can end it all with a big, massive explosion to top it all off. But this is where we get to Wolverine's durability and his healing factor. Because for as lethal and powerful as the Predator's arsenal is, there's really nothing in there that's actually going to put Wolverine down and keep him down. My man is taking punches from World War Hulk like it's Rock'em Sock'em robots. He's been hit with nuclear bombs, literal disintegration rays, even a direct hit from a plasma caster isn't going to do anything to put him down. Shooting him up with electricity is just going to make Wolverine even more angry. And sure, while Predator can cause Wolverine some damage and give him some injuries that he's got to heal back from, all that's doing is forcing Logan to take the fight more and more seriously and get more and more pissed off. And you really don't want to see Wolverine when he goes into that berserker rage. There's no coming back from that one. And with Wolverine's healing factor, with his own fighting skill, and especially with his lethal adamantium claws, well, I don't see the Predator coming out of this fight alive. There's just nothing here that Logan can't come back from. And while the Predator will land some good hits, it's only going to take one well-placed swipe from Wolverine's claws to put him down for the count. It's a very fun fight, and I would definitely watch this movie. But at the end of the day, it's going to be the same outcome pretty much every single time. The Predator becomes prey, and Wolverine is standing triumphant. Wolverine wins, and it's not even close. But what do y'all think? Sound off in the comments down below. I know you're going to have thoughts and feelings on this one for sure. If you stuck around this long and made it to the end of the video, that's amazing. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting us. And if you want to go subscribe, well, go subscribe. You're going to see more videos like this one every single week. I'll see y'all then. I'll see y'all next time.